back for a second one today. There we go. So a bit more on the trade negotiations. I'm not going to spend all day long on it because it's just going to go on and on and on, and it's everywhere. But real quick, I don't even know if I'm going to read the whole thing. There's other things I want to discuss. So, but real quick, the United States Trade Representative. I didn't even get the name of the guy, but I guess it's. Anyways, I'm drawing a blank. I copied and pasted this from Twitter or X. So they're basically, their side, the U.S., is blaming Canada for backing out, saying that apparently we changed things at the last minute. Here, I'll read a bit of it. Tonight, Canada declined to finalize the trade deal under the terms agreed earlier in the week, despite the U.S. offer to Canada to receive the best treatment of any major exporter to our market. New demands and walkbacks of other commitments by Canada have upended the careful balance reached in the past days. In addition, Canada is continuing to maintain its prolonged retaliation against the United States, including, among other things, flat-out prohibitions on certain American goods and services. This week, the United States agreed to provide even better treatment to Canada, offering significant tariff reductions on steel, aluminum, autos, and lumber. But ultimately, we want zero tariffs. So, there we go. So apparently we walked back on certain things that we were agreeing to, and they changed things at the last minute, according to Carney. So that's where we are at. And I could read it all, but it just goes on. Oh, sorry, went the wrong way. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, yeah, well, they were going to... Okay, the offer would have led to supply chain coordination on aerospace, complementary actions to address their unfair trade practices, critical minerals cooperation, increased enforcement against imports produced with forced labor, and the announcement of formal U.S., Mexico, Canada agreements. So USMCA negotiations. So, in the end, we still have the USMCA. It's just going to be looked at, it's going to be reevaluated year after year after year instead of, going forward and being locked in for, say, the next 10 years or whatever. Or it is locked, it's there for 10 years or whatever the amount of time is, but it's not guaranteed. And then again, let's be honest, nothing is guaranteed with Donald Trump, and you can make a deal with him and he can change it the next day anyways. So, I'll give Carney a little bit of credit, like, not credit, but okay, let's at least give him a chance where he was fighting an uphill battle anyways, but he co-created it. Could have had a deal a year and a half ago, and I said this in my last video, so I don't need to keep repeating myself over and over again, but this should have been dealt with a long time ago before now. Now it's totally escalated out of control. So whatever your thoughts are on Trump, you're right. Trump is an asshole. He's unfair. He's all these things. And that's the one thing that, no matter how you vote in this country of Canada, we can all agree on that. Orange Man is bad. But he's he's not to blame for everything that has gone on wrong in this country for the past decade before he was in power. And remember, part of that time he was in power, and he made these the Kuzma deal. So, anyways, we don't need a history lesson on that, but the fact that our industries can't absorb anything at this point tells you that we were very weak in the first place. And I have said that repeatedly in just about every video I post. Trudeau never did us a single favor. So we can blame a lot on Trudeau. Kept the oil in the ground. All these projects that have been waiting years to get passed, to get going. Just sitting there waiting for regulatory board after regulatory board to get approval, and then things fall apart, and then things get approved, and then they're all of a sudden unapproved. It's ridiculous. We have our industry has been a disaster long before Trump's second term, long before Carney come in. But then again, Carney was Trudeau's economic advisor for at least a couple of years before Carney became prime minister. So there you go. That's it in a nutshell. If we were stronger economically, maybe we could absorb some of this, but our inflation's through the roof. You all feel it. I feel it. Every time you go to the store for anything. I bought vegetables the other day. It was insane to eat healthy, to buy salads, bagged salads, the pre-made salads, some stuffed mushrooms, portobellos, and some baked potatoes, and all this stuff, all these vegetables, broccoli. What else did I get? Some vegetable kebabs and everything. It was $60 just in vegetables to try to eat healthy, And that's why it's easier for people just to buy all the junk food, because it's really cheaper to eat. And going forward, this article came up. Quebec's not so much in a hurry to separate right now because of these tariffs. I'm not going to read the whole article because I'm monotone and I can't pronounce words anyways. But let's look at the key takeaways. Economic impact. Trump's 50% steel tariffs hit Quebec hard, causing factory closures, layoffs, and reduced orders, particularly in steel and aluminum industries. Support of Quebec independence is now at a decade's low of 30%, with separatist leaders delaying any referendum due to U.S. political uncertainty. They don't stand a chance to be on their own. They just don't. National unity response. Many Quebecers see staying in Canada as the best way to protect French culture and counteract external threats, emphasizing on unified national approach against U.S. policies. What else are they going to do? They don't stand a chance on standing alone. The only people that want to take away their culture right now would be the millions of immigrants that keep pouring in. I mean, it got to the point where Quebec has had to ban any kind of prayer in the streets, because their streets were taken over with the Muslims blocking streets and access where they're called to prayer. Pretty bad when you have to do that. Moving on, I found this article yesterday. Canada's biggest grocers named in class action lawsuit over fake maple syrup. Uh, so this guy from Quebec. Give me a second. Okay, it's Bordeaux maple syrup from Quebec. I had to go there, so that's what it looks like. If you see that in the stores, don't get it. Okay, so this guy's admitted to it. He's admitted to buying. He's not even making the syrup. He's admitted to buying illegal black market maple syrup that isn't pure. And it's made with 50% cane sugar. So it's not. So it's yeah, here it is. I'll read it. The takeaways. I love these takeaways. I should be doing this more often. So Metro, Sobeys, Loblaws, and Group Epicia, I don't even know what the heck that is, are named in the proposed class action lawsuit for selling syrup found to be 50% cane sugar instead of pure maple syrup. So wherever this guy's getting fake maple syrup, he's turning around and selling it to all these grocery stores. He's not even manufacturing it himself. And then the other part was it'll say made in Quebec, and it's not. It's just not. So it's fake syrup and it's false advertising. So the lawsuit alleges negligence and recklessness, seeks refunds, compensatory damages, and $100 punitive damages per person, and could affect hundreds of thousands of Canadians. Investigation findings, independent testing that was done by a show in Quebec, where was I? Revealed all sampled cans labeled as pure contained at least 50% cane sugar, with prior complaints dating back to 2016 and ongoing regulatory scrutiny over Bordeaux's operations. So this guy's euchred. Like, I don't even know what will happen to this guy. I mean, these are the stores, Metro, Sobeys, Loblaws, that are being sued. So this guy's just effed. Like, we're just scratching the surface. Like, I remember hearing a story a few years ago about a giant theft of maple syrup. Like, I guess it would have been from Quebec, some plant. People siphoning it from the plant. So I don't know what goes on with this. I'm just guessing. Like, is it what they do with cocaine? Take it somewhere and cut it up, and add cane sugar, and I don't know. I'm speculating. I don't know. Like, where do you make up half-ass fake maple syrup? But here, if you're listening, you don't see it. But if you're watching live, that's the maple syrup. See, it even says "Produit de Quebec, Canada." Well, it's not. It's not from there. Don't even know where it's from, but it's not from there. Moving on, I felt this was important for me to mention as a public service announcement. More than 1.5 million cars recalled after, I don't know how many, but they started bursting into flames while parked. Wow! Massive recalls. Over 1.5 million vehicles recalled in 2026 for risk of spontaneous fires, even when turned off, including Jeep Gladiators, Jeep Wranglers, Kia Tellurides, and BMW 530e X-Drives. Causing danger. Fires are linked to electrical issues and overheating electronics, creating key-off fire risks, where circuits remain hot after the engine is off. Recent incidents and actions. Stellantis recalled over 1 million Jeeps due to hydraulic power steering wiring fires. Kia recalled 462,000 Tellurides for front seat motor overheating. Wow, recalls are increasing yearly. 10 different recalls in 2024, 19 recalls, not 19 cars, 19 different recalls in 2025, and 17 in the first 7 months of 2026. So I read the article. I'll give you another breakdown. So apparently with more and more electronics, the cars are just, they're getting too hot and they don't have a chance to cool down. And, well, they're just bursting into flames when they're off. Good Lord. Next up. Can't prove this one way or another, but let's think about it. Outrage over claim. This has been a claim that taxpayers are funding the bodyguards for Trudeau's many lavish jaunts with Katy Perry. So, this is key here. The word could. Canadian taxpayers could, probably are, paying for Justin Trudeau's bodyguards as he jet sets the world with pop star girlfriend Katy Perry, according to media reports. Trudeau, the former Canadian Prime Minister, has been escorted by Royal Canadian Mounted Police officers while on his latest travels with Perry, the Journal de Montréal reported. Okay, so let's stop right there. So, if his bodyguards are the RCMP, he's probably not paying them out of pocket, I would imagine. Wouldn't you get private security for yourself? I don't think you just walk in and say, hey, I want to hire RCMP to follow me. I think we're on the hook for this one. One of the sources cited by the outlet said Trudeau, 54, was still using the RCMP as private security agency for personal and political trips. What would he be doing political trips? Anyways, though he has not been in office since last March, Trudeau has stayed in the spotlight this year, mainly because of his relationship with Perry. He's getting some premium with her. Trudeau has been seen with Perry at Coachella. Oh yeah, I got a picture of that. As well as on various trips around Europe and Greece and Italy and Switzerland. He would have been accompanied by the RCMP while spending time with the famous musician, according to the report. The RCMP has not disclosed Trudeau's security provisions, including the cost or their nature. The agency stated that this was because of the evolving threat environment and operational and security considerations related to police protection services. As information could reveal or facilitate inferences about the protective measures taken for an individual, according to Le Journal. We're on the hook. This guy, everywhere he goes, we're paying for his security. There's no doubt. Right? So, oh yeah, here's the picture of them at Coachella. Now, remember when he banned straws and single-use plastics? Well, look at that. Red Solo cups. I guess that's a single-use plastic, wouldn't it be? Well, anyways. Good luck to you, pal. Oh yeah, and that's in the U.S. So wasn't it just last March when Trump started bullying him and us, and Trudeau's like, well, people just don't go to the U.S. to travel, don't vacation there, but it's fine for him. Okay. Good for me, not for thee, or however that. Good for thee, not for me. I think that's how that goes, right? Okay, now we're moving on, and we're going to end the show with this video from Michelle Ferrari. I think I got it queued up. Here we go.
Solutions on the addiction and drug crisis? Conservatives have them. Are you seeing this in the media? I don't know. This is my friend Kelly DeRitter. She's a member of parliament. She went from being a drug addict living on a park bench to being a member of parliament in the House of Commons for Kitchener Centre, and she has now put forward bills to help with the addiction crisis. Please watch this entire clip. It is why I support Pierre Poilievre. It is why I identify with the Conservatives. They are the only party fighting to end this addiction crisis, which is a humanitarian crisis in our country. Please watch this. Please share this.
I knew that under his leadership, I would be supported with my own story. Because in the last election, Pierre said that addicts are superheroes that nobody knows about because they climb a mountain that nobody can see. And there is so much truth in that statement. And he's a piece of the reason why I actually felt for the first time in my life that I would be comfortable to run. And man, was I right. He's been incredibly supportive across the entire process of sharing the story and coming here today. So please welcome the Honourable Pierre Poilievre.
The funding model I want to use is that we will only pay organizations that succeed in getting people off drugs. What we don't want to do is see the same interest groups that have caused this problem and who have profited off of its worsening to simply change the name on the door from safe supply to treatment and then get the money. So we will only fund organizations that have a track record of getting people off drugs, and then future funding will be based on follow-ups with patients to see if they are drug-free, and then we will pay the treatment center for every month they keep a former addict drug-free. They can then take that money and use it on the next incoming addict. This will create organic growth of those organizations like, for example, Harvest House in Ottawa, Bruce Oak in Winnipeg, absolutely, I visited that one. It will allow them to grow organically through their success, and frankly, it will defund the organizations that have made this problem worse. We will also get money to pay for this by cutting off all of the falsely named programs that they call harm reduction and safe supply. It's all garbage. And frankly, these interest groups, they have profited off of this nightmare. They have no interest in solving the problem because then their budgets get cut. They want to make it bigger, and I'm going to cut them off entirely and put the money into the organizations that prove they get people off drugs.
You want solutions on the addiction and drug crisis? Conservatives have them.
I mean, does that not make sense? It totally makes sense. To me, anyways. Giving people the drugs and watching them be zombies in the streets, all bent over, it's no way to live. I got my own problems. You know, I don't want to judge people. I think people need help. And just giving them safe places to inject themselves with crap that we as taxpayers pay for, that's not helping. That's not helping. And why do we pay for that? But, you know, diabetic drugs and cancer drugs, all this other stuff is so expensive and people can't afford it. Anyways. Well, after having such a serious thing, I'm not going to do the jokes. Actually, I didn't even do the jokes on the first episode today. I'm just not feeling it today. It's kind of a serious day, you know. Like we're hammered now with these tariffs, and I really don't feel like just sitting here clowning around. There's a lot of people that are right now wondering what's next. How am I going to provide for my family? How long is my job going to last? So, I don't know. I certainly don't want to sit here and do stupid dad jokes. I mean, I do and I don't, but I out of respect, I'm just not doing it today. So, anyway, thank you for spending time with me. Hope you learned something. Anything you disagree or like or whatever, leave a comment. Hit like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell a phone, and as I always say, and I really mean it, especially right now, more than ever, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and God bless. I really do wish you all many blessings. Bye for now.